What's up, Justin? Just saw your video. I just responded somewhat, but then I heard your question. I know I should wait till the end of the video to respond. Sometimes I am old and I forget things easily, so I need to respond right away. But I remember this question being asked, and I remember explaining it. I just don't remember if it was your question that I was explaining this to. But if I did already, forgive me. Here we go again. My name, Mr. Cinema Junkie. Well, that's an interesting question. I hope my answer is just as interesting. Mr. Cinema Junkie came about when I was trying to create another channel that was going to be solely for movies, all about movies. I like to think that I'm diehard horror, and I am. I love horror, but I like all genres of movies. I can talk about pretty much any kind of movie. Drama, action, sci-fi, some westerns. Yeah. So I couldn't say Mr. Horror Junkie. I didn't want to do anything like that. I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into just one category of film by calling myself something like, the creeping horror, or Dr. Bloody Gorestein or something like that. I wanted something that would kind of reflect my love for movies in general. But Mr. Cinema Junkie was not my first choice. I think my first choice was Cinephile number 1. And for some reason it didn't give me that one. It wouldn't let me have it. Or there was another one, I believe was... Well, I have a channel, Movie Dude 210, that I've had for ages, but I've slowly been using that one for other things, so it really got way off track. And I had that one ever since I was writing reviews on MySpace. So I wanted something with a different name to it. And I can't remember the other names I thought of. They all had to do with movies. The Digital Deviant was another one, and I don't know, it just said this name was not available. So, out of sheer desperation, I just put Mr. Cinema Junkie, and it gave me that name. And it said, yeah, you can have that one. So I'm like, okay. If you look at my earlier videos, you'll see that I really wasn't comfortable with that name. I wasn't really liking it too much because I started addressing myself as Mondo Weirdo, which I don't know why I didn't think of that name in the first place, but I was like, Mondo Weirdo, why did I think about that? Because I like a lot of strange things. I figured, it would kind of fit. I could talk about anything and it'd just be the weird person that I am. So yeah, my introductions are always like, this is your friend Derek, aka Mondo Weirdo, aka Mr. Cinema Junkie, and that got a little long-winded. So some people played along. Some people were calling me Mondo Weirdo on here, and for the most part, it was appreciated. And I kept trying to put up on the top where you can change that little deal above your name. You can put anything you want there. I would put Mondo Weirdo there. But then people just kept addressing me as Mr. Cinema Junkie because that's what would come up when I would respond to them. It'd say Mr. Cinema Junkie. So that's how they addressed me. And after a little while, I started getting comfortable with it, and it stuck. It grew on me. So now I have a Skype page and an email address dedicated to this channel. And I'm actually thinking of getting a Mr. Cinema Junkie Visa card, because you can put your You can put a picture on there. They have this for net spend. You can get a customized picture on your Visa card, and I'm thinking of doing one that has my picture and then the words Mr. Cinema Junkie across it. And I'll use that when I go to buy my DVDs and stuff. Just something neat for me, make me feel like a superstar. I'm even thinking of getting business cards. Who knows? So, yeah, that's the story of Mr. Cinema Junkie. I'm a cinematic junkie. I'm a junkie for movies, and because kind of touching a personal aspect of my life, movies are my anti-drug. Just put it that way. So, as far as Titanic being released in 3D, it deserves nothing less than my deepest thought and most expert of opinions. And the thing is, I'm not really a fan of Titanic. It's not really my kind of movie. But for what it is, it's appreciated for what it is and what it was supposed to be. Why in 3D? Why? What purpose could that possibly serve? You talk about somebody hitting the train late, people going, we should have made it in 3D. Well, let's do it. What? You talk about, that thing broke all sorts of box office records. Okay, it broke records left and right. And then the home video sales had to have made them even more money. So why make it in 3D? You're gonna tell everybody. See, this is what drives me crazy, Justin. People are taking a movie from 1997 and they're gonna re-release it with a 3D treatment. Back when the movie was new, you're paying $7 to $10 a ticket. Now, because it's going to be 3D and in 3D theaters, what are you going to pay for a ticket now? 15, 20 bucks to see a movie that you probably own on DVD, Blu-ray, or whatever? What is the sense? Where is everybody's brain at? You know what I mean? They'll release a movie from 1997 and give it the 3D treatment, but they won't re-release a classic horror movie from the 1980s and just give it a nice digital treatment, clean it up, make it look nice. That's what drives me insane. And yeah, I know it's all about money. That's bottom line. Again, studios are not out to promote any certain genre. They just look at the receipts and they go, this one made us lots of money. Let's do this again. Now, on a plus note, we want to keep this positive. It's not a remake. Let's yay. It's not a remake. Because, I don't know. In this day and age, I wouldn't be surprised if they remade Titanic. It's from 97. It's old. It's over 10 years old. Isn't it due for a remake? Now, I heard that Star Wars was going to get the 3D treatment. And I'm thinking, if any movie should be shown in graphic, big screen 3D, it should be Star Wars. And on the other side of that coin, I'm thinking, you triple dipping son of a... Because George Lucas, that's all he's doing it for. You think this is a treat for the fans? If this was a treat for the fans, he'd show it in a public forum for free in certain cities, or he would, give fans or give people, half off tickets to go see it. He's taking, I don't know if it's going to be the episode 4 through 6 first, getting the 3D treatment, and then episode 1 through 3. But if he just starts off with episode 1 through 3, that's going to be like a slap in the face, because he already just jacked up that storyline. I mean, the storyline, I guess, was okay, but the movie, the end result, not cool. Not good. So to rehash it, to rehash it and give it some kind of treatment to make people go see it again or make people want to see it again, that's like feeding you a bad dinner and then forcing your head over a bucket and sticking his fingers down your throat, making you puke it back up, and then dressing it up real pretty. Go, here, dinner. I hate to be gross, but that's what it makes me think of. I actually don't hate to be gross. I lied, but I hope that made the point. Should some movies have been released in 3D? Sure. I think Star Wars, the first 3 Star Wars, should have got the 3D treatment, but years ago we had the technology to do 3D movies. Friday the 13th Part 3 was done in 3D, and that was the third part of a horror franchise that probably didn't make near as much money as Star Wars. So why didn't Star Wars get the 3D treatment back then? Heck, we couldn't even get them to release a decent... Look how many times they released the VHS set. There was a silver box, then there was a gold box, then there was DVD, then there was a triple DVD pack. I mean, this dude is just milking those 6 movies for everything they're worth. So it stands to reason why the the bigwigs behind Titanic, who made money hand over fist, figure, hey, we've pretty much swim through that money. Let's make more money. So, long and short of it, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't. Just go back to the days when a movie was just a movie. And they didn't rely on little gimmicks. Other than free stuff at the door. Back in the 60s, 50s, and 60s, they would give you free gifts. Things you could actually hold and take home with you to get you to watch crappy movies. You go to see Rasputin the Mad Monk, they give you a free Rasputin beard. You go to see the zombie movies, they give you black stamps. You know, when you went to go see 13 Ghosts, they gave you the ghost viewer, so you put it on, you could see the ghost on the screen. Little collectibles like that, little things that say, here, thanks for showing up. Not 3D. 3D! All the stuff you hate about the movie now looks like it's in your lap. Yay. Okay, I rambled on way too much. But great video, Justin, as always. And yeah, those are my thoughts on the subject. So, sorry I didn't show up a little more presentable. Eesh, man, I need some mousse. All right, man. You take it easy, brother.